Okay, first let's talk about the one that might affect all of us, probably the best is getting started. How many people, if any, own real estate now as an investment, a passive investment? Okay, good. You've got a great start and you know the tax benefits that come with that. There are basically three. One is appreciation. Okay? You buy it right, you make your money on the front end. That's where you make your money. And that's working with a good real estate agent or being due diligent in finding properties that are priced right that you could buy and that you can finance to your advantage. So you have appreciation. The second is a tax hidden thing. The accountants in the room know it. Depreciation. It's a non-cash expense. That means you ain't got to take out Washington's out of your wallet and pay it out as expense. It depreciates your property and it increases the amount that you can deduct, so it lowers your income tax. So a strategy that we want to work on is to grow wealth, but we also want to protect that wealth and increase it by reducing our taxes. So that is the kind of secret hidden term for real estate investing, and that's depreciation. The other is using OPM. Anybody know that name?
Other people's money.
Other people's money. Okay, the rich use other people's money. It's not their money. And you can do that by finding through due diligence and working with a good real estate agent or broker, properties that have a urgency to be sold by the owner. Okay. And if they are so urgent, but they want a certain price, then you can work with them to structure a financing deal that they finance. You don't have to go to the bank. You don't have to put up collateral. You don't have to jump through so many hoops through a lender, traditional lender, when you can use other people's money. Okay? So there's some good techniques there in getting into investing. Second is 1031 exchanges. And what a 1031 exchange is, rich people have legislators that write legislation that favor, who do you think?
Rich people.
Rich people, okay? That's why they're rich, okay? But the 1031 exchange is, if you have a property, then you can get a bigger property by selling that property and taking the gain on that, investing in another property that's worth more money. And what you do is you delay the tax. It's a structured tax. So it's advantaged already. It's called capital gains. It's about half of what the regular wage income tax is. So you're already deferred a bit there. But the secret with 1031 exchange is that you delay, buy another property, delay, buy another property, delay, and finally you pass it on to your heirs when you die. Okay? Because then your heirs can take the stepped up value and they don't pay any capital gains tax. Okay? So it's a powerful technique. I'm dodging around.
Yeah, you need to stay right around here.
Spot. So 1031 is a powerful tool. Work strategically with a person or a planner or somebody that has done that before, because there are certain marks that you have to hit, and that's timing marks on when you sell and when you buy, or when you identify properties. And there are certain large companies that can assist you with that, and there are certain individuals that specialize in 1031 exchanges. So you can find those and again, take advantage of that tax advantage tool. And I'm gonna look for Joe. Always hate to be talking, you know, that always gets you when your mouth is open. Sherry had mentioned something that they're looking at is a real estate investment trust. Anybody ever heard of that? REIT. And what it is it enables you as a family or as a group to pool your money and to make big investments. It's like buying into a mutual fund, if you will. It's not the exact correlation, but it's similar to that. And these REITs are set up so that they are shares that are sold. And then the earnings are depreciated as dividends, which again is a So you don't follow me back to my spot. Which are deferred tax, in a deferred tax rate, but they are taxable. But you can structure that in a manner that it's easy to pass on to the next generation, the wealth that you've gained through investing in a REIT. Also, there are public REITs that you can invest in if you want to do that, and they sell you shares and you participate in that way. It's kind of like a big general partnership, but that's another vehicle if you don't want to set up your own. The other technique that we want to talk about is real estate development. In real estate development, you really have to have a team to work with. As you go through and think about real estate development, you might find that you have identified some property that would be right for development. How might you find that? Well, one of the techniques is to go outside of a town, regardless of the size of the town, and look for the city limits, and then start investigating what property is sold for. And when it's sold in a town or on the margins of a town or a city, it's sold generally by the square foot, okay, or the front foot on the road. How many front feet do you have? You have 100 feet. It's sold so much dollars per front feet. When that changes to sales by acres, okay, that's where you want to be, okay? Because then you know that it's past that pre-development stage and it's right for developing, okay? But what have you got to have to do real estate development? First of all, you need to have an engineer or someone that's comfortable, experienced in putting together the type of development that you want to do. You, of course, number one or two is you have to have a capital source. Most people don't have enough money to put down to even get started to buy the land. So you have to have secured a financial source. And to get that, you've got to put together a plan. So you got to have a business plan. So you might work with an accountant or a tax person or a real estate lawyer that can help you in drawing that business plan together so that you can then go and present it to a lender and you can start the process. And once you do that, you have to put together your team to do the development, and that might mean people that are in the land development business, either familiar with infrastructure, putting in roads, curbs, gutters, developing and dividing lots, so on and so forth. So that is a great opportunity because of the margins. You can buy inexpensively, you got a lot of cost of development, and then sell at a real retail price. So that's a opportunity that you can use in developing generational wealth, because those projects are massive and they can be passed on generation to generation. The last one I want to talk about is opportunity zones. And this is the people, Reverend, that believe not only in making yourself healthy, wealthy, and wise, but helping others. And opportunity zones is the opportunity for us as investors and financiers and people seeking to do wealth development for ourselves, to also help the communities that we live in. And this is to invest in those areas that have a lack of affordable housing, or they have a lack of development, or they have some other need. And identified in the TCJA were certain opportunity zones, and they are everywhere. Okay, you just have to look for them. Not only they're in Memphis, not only they're in New York City, they're in North Dakota. Okay, the Badlands. Okay, they're everywhere. And if you find something that you would like to invest in, check out the opportunity to invest in an opportunity zone. Why would you want to do that? Well, number one, it's good for the heart. Okay. Number two, it's good for the pocketbook. Okay. Number three, the rewards might not only be here, but in the hereafter. Okay, because you're helping somebody. Okay. How does it help you in the here? If you hold the property for a minimum of 10 years, there is no capital gains tax. It is forgiven. It goes away. Okay. So again, we've talked about the 5 elements of things that you might investigate or find out or check or develop a plan for in your investing life and your wealth building strategic plan to pass on to your children your grandchildren. Number one, get started, okay? A lot of folks in this room have already got started. Great ideas, get started small, buy your first house, you'll be scared to death. Don't worry about it, it's gonna work out, okay? But get started and take that first step. That journey of 1,000 miles starts with that first step. Grow your business by growing your investments through 1031 exchanges so that you can grow your investment and you can defer, delay, and eventually eliminate capital gains taxes. Number three, make sure that you look at the opportunity to build a real estate investment trust, that you have an opportunity to build a real business that is like a huge investment. And you can give those shares, pass them on to the next generation in a very tax deferred manner. Fourth, make sure that you take a look at real estate development. It may be down the line, it may not be for you. We're not saying all of these are for everybody, but if you have that entrepreneurial spirit, if you like to see things build, if you like to get your hands dirty, if you like to see something creative, real estate development might be just exactly what you have. And finally, number five is look at opportunity zones. If you have a interest in that, look quick, okay? The act came into effect in 2017. It's got an 8-year life. It's due to expire in 2025. And depending upon the outcome of the next 65 days and the makeup of the Congress and the Senate, that law may or may not be extended. It may be renewed. It may be rescinded. So thank you very much. I got time for a couple questions.
Okay, I have two questions. One is, does the 1031 affect you later on in life, deferring the taxes or the depreciation? And then my next question was on the opportunity zones. Is that the same as like similar to gentrification, or is this something different?
We'll take it one at a time.
Okay,
First question, 1031 does not affect you until you sell. Okay, then when you sell, you'll have to pay the capital gains. Okay,
okay.
but
And
if
you only have 6 months to buy, right?
there's a time frame in there, I'm not exactly sure. You need to get personal advice. There's one limit that's 45 days and there's one that's 6 months, I believe. And it's identifying, and to avoid that, I recommend using an intermediary. They can help you manage the process and they can make sure that you hit the deadlines. Okay. Secondly, on opportunity zones, one more time.
Is that the same thing as gentrification, where you buy in like it says economically depressed zone, so like the poor areas, and build it up?
A lot of those are exactly that. That's
Okay, that, I just wanted to make
That's
sure that
correct.
I had the right.
But it might not be, not gentrified, it can be land that's underutilized. For example, in North Dakota, they've got a lot of great grasslands up there. And those are part of opportunity zones because they're poorly developed. There's not an economic value in how they're being used now, so you can go in, build that up and make a.
So it's kind of like similar to where they were buying like the really cheap home downtown in Memphis.
Exactly right.
But then what happens with, I guess my concern is, I guess for this one, I read it because you said it was a way to like build it up, because I know a lot of the people are pushed out of those areas. I didn't know if you meant like building affordable homes.
Right,
Or
that's part of it, is building affordable homes. You might have to go in and you might have to eliminate some of the homes that are there before you build. Okay, so it's a plus and a minus, so you need to evaluate that. Miranda?
Yeah, speaking of the revitalization, I'm, one of the things that I really want to work towards, and I may need guidance, and you may know someone that you could connect me to, but I'm wanting to build opportunities in these food deserts, because there's grocery stores 10 miles away from a lot of these living environments that I'm wanting to create not only jobs to where they can give back to the community, but learn to grow their own food and give back to the community.
Right.
Well,
Well, it's certainly, my topic, of course, is in real estate development. There's opportunities in building retail, food chains or distribution points. Another way of doing that might be through community service organizations that develop community gardens. There's not much potential there for a real
This is
estate.
an indoor hydroponic, big conglomerate.
Right.
Thing going on.
And you can do something like that. Of course, that would be another business opportunity with real estate just being a small part of it. But it's a great idea and there are people that have done that. So look around and see if you can find someone that might give you some guidance on that. Okay. Any other questions? I think I'm on time. Thank y'all very much.